It's your girl, Victoria Marie. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2018. Man, this is going to be an awesome year. I hope you guys are excited about this. I wanted to post a Scrappy chat first and foremost to say Happy New Year to everybody. Also to welcome you back to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. For those of you who have been with me for a long time, thank you so much for your support. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Man, I have got so much to talk about in the Scrappy chat, and I have a Scrappy wisdom that's tied into the blog post that I posted yesterday, so I'll get to that here in just a few. You may have noticed a slight change in the format, little new intro. There's going to be a new outro as well, so I hope you guys enjoy that. You're going to see a little bit of changes, a little bit of change coming to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. I want to be more interactive. I want it to be more fun. I was just finding myself getting bored, and I just want to change things up. And I think the start of the new year is the great way to do that. So I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk about with you guys today. I got my list in my new little notebook, and I am ready to go. So let me talk a little bit about 2017, kind of 2017 in review, because there's a lot of things that were going on. Now, if you've been subscribing to me for a while, then you probably noticed that I hadn't been posting as regularly as I normally have, and probably not since maybe July or so. And I mentioned probably around maybe May, June, something like that, that I had to go back to work full time. We had some financial things that came up. I quit my job back in 2016 to start Victoria Marie Designs full time, and that was great. And then life just happened. So I'm working temporarily at my daughter's school. I don't know how long temporarily is going to be. At least for now, I've got, it's typically a 10-month work commitment because I do work in an educational nonprofit. And so I don't work during the summer or the holidays, which is great, but it definitely has taken a lot of time away from Victoria Marie Designs. And so the better part of 2017, after I started that job, I've been trying to figure out how to balance both working outside the home and running a full-time business. So I'm hoping things will change by the end of the year. We've got some big plans, my spouse and I personally, that we want to do that will involve having the extra cash. So, but it has definitely taken the stress off of trying to build a business and worry about money, because if you've been there before, then you know you're not rich going in the first, 1 to 5 years of your business. And so I had to eat some humble pie and step back a little bit and do the things and hustle and do what I need to do to make it work. So all that being said, it definitely affected how much I posted here on the YouTube channel. So I do apologize to you for that. For those of you who've been following me for a long time and you've been waiting for content and waiting for content, life has just been crazy. And so my commitment to you, because I love this format and I love this community, and I truly believe that if you're going to be a YouTuber, then you need to have good, consistent content on your channel. So my commitment to you is that you will see new content every week. Unless something happens, then I will definitely communicate that to you guys as a community. You have been so supportive of me. This is my fourth or fifth year, maybe fourth year being in this community. And so I'm committed to it. You guys are committed to me, and I appreciate that so much. So you're going to see some more content coming from me, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. But that's why the channel's been a tiny bit quiet over the past few months, is my life has just exploded with so many things. So it's not only the work, it's all the projects I'm doing for my business. I got a lot of contracted opportunities. I got some other opportunities that are coming up soon. So it's just been crazy. So thank you so much for sticking by me. For those of you who are new, please know there's going to be weekly content. You'll love it. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. I changed up my format a little bit. I'm just excited. I'm just super excited. So thank you so much for sticking around with me. Alrighty, so what's next? All right, so let's talk about rainbows and clouds for my 2017 outside of having to work, and it's been crazy. When I worked for a university not too long ago, well, actually it's been a long time ago, the director of the program I worked for, whenever we had staff meetings, would say, okay, what's your rainbows and what's your clouds? So what's something that was great that happened to you this week, and what's some things that were challenging for you? So in 2017, some of the great stuff that happened, I wrote 2 new classes, Writer's Block, which is all about robust journaling for scrapbookers. So make sure you check that out. Links are posted down below. And then I also wrote a class called Multi-Photo Love, which is all about using multiple photos on a scrapbook page, and that's more of a design technique class. Writer's Block is definitely all journaling. There's no design. Well, there's a little bit of design, but it's mainly about really telling your story in a robust way and thinking about your stories differently. So those classes did pretty good. However, I did discover that I'm getting a little bit concerned about the length and the format of my classes. So I'm going to tweak some things up a bit in 2018 going forward. There is a increasing trend in online education to make mini classes or series of classes, but I definitely want the classes to produce something at the end. So when you take the class, you're doing all the activities and stuff in the class, and at the end of the class you have something tangible, whether that's a project of your own, whether it's a product that I offer. I don't know yet. I don't know what that's going to look like. I just know there's going to be a slight change. So if you've taken a Victoria Marie online class, I know a lot of you love the classes. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Check it out. It's a great price, great content. You get a lot of value. Link is posted down below. But I am going to change the format just slightly, just kind of playing around. And that's, you got to take a little bit of risk, right? So those classes did very well. Also in 2017, I was a contributor to Simple Scrapper's Spark magazine, which was fantastic. What I did was I submitted some layouts and they created sketches from it, and their design team made their own interpretation based off the sketch that was based on my design. And so they do have guest designers come in every month for their newsletter. Now, Simple Scrapper is a subscription-based company where you can subscribe and then you get access to content and classes and that type of thing, and then they have this newsletter for their subscribers. So I was very, very happy to be a part of that. I love Simple Scrapper. I love their classes and everything that's going on there. So thank you, Simple Scrapper, for the opportunity. I also was a part of Sketch to Finish Volume 3 for Elle Studio. I was a contributor for that as well. They sent me some awesome product, and I made some layouts, and based on the layouts, they made sketches, and then the people taking the class not only learn how to work with the sketch, but they also have the creative inspiration from those of us who contributed. So that was a lot of fun. So thank you, Elle Studio, for that opportunity. That was wonderful, and I just love their products. So if you haven't heard of Elle Studio, where have you been? Their link is posted down below, so make sure you check them out. I also was a part of Get It Scrapped with Debbie Hodge, who is like an industry titan in my view. She's lovely, lovely, lovely. She does what's called visual storytelling, or I'm sorry, let me back up. She has a series of these workshops or webinars that she does. It's based on scrapbooking techniques. And so I participated with visual storytelling, which was one of the classes. And then I also did page parts as well, which was awesome. There's a construction worker outside my windows. I was like, who is this guy in the yellow vest? Anyway, he's looking in on me like, what is she doing? Okay, so anyway. So I was a part of visual storytelling and page parts with Get It Scrapped, and that was phenomenal. We did this live webinar, and so her subscribers get access to the webinar where they learn about scrapbooking techniques and all kinds of great stuff. So I was glad to be a contributor. Debbie, thank you so much. She's just been wonderful to work with. I also am enrolled in a class that she is currently running called Teach What You Do, which is phenomenal. It's really helpful for online entrepreneurs such as myself, creative entrepreneurs, and people who are in various different industries, not just scrapbooking. So that's been really fun. And then I've been a part of the Felicity Jane design team, and they were also the sponsor, one of the sponsors for the 2017 Victoria Marie Scrapbook Retreat, which was phenomenal. Jenna is fantastic. She is the owner of Felicity Jane, probably one of the sweetest people ever, and I've just been so happy to be on this design team. It's just it's very easy to be able to create things with the beautiful products that they have. I love my design team members, most of whom I've gotten to know over the years in various different online venues. So it's just been a lot of fun being on the design team, and you'll see more of those videos or more process videos using Felicity Jane products to come. In fact, I have a product review, January product review, that I'm going to post at some point this week. So I got a lot of filming. I got a lot of stuff to do in 2018. I'm like busy. So those are my rainbows in 2017. Now my clouds, I have alluded to this earlier. One, had to go back to work full time. So that was kind of hard. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, because while I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of things, I have to be very deliberate with my time. I also am able to have a cushion of money come in as I'm building my business. And so that helps take the stress off, particularly when a project don't do that well, and that happens. And so I've been a lot more mindful of just really being present and being thankful that I had the opportunity, that where I'm able to continue to do what I do, even though it looks slightly different right now in the short term. It's not a forever job. It's not a hard job. I'm definitely utilizing skills that I've used before in my nonprofit work. So So I've had to really take a step back and not like beat myself up about it. So anyway, so that's somewhat of a cloud, somewhat of a rainbow. It's kind of in between, something like that. I definitely struggled, as I mentioned, balancing my full-time work with my business, so much to the point that I almost wanted to give up. And if you follow me on Instagram or have watched my videos before, I'm pretty much, as you know, very positive person. Hustle, go at it, get up and do what you need to do. Which for the most part, yes. But I found that a lot of times in 2017, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I even doing this? I should just stop and just, you know, go find a full-time job with benefits and call it a day. But I knew in my heart that that's not what I want to do. I felt that I had so much to give. And I had so many people who would say that if I mentioned to them that I almost want to give up, they would say, you know what, you've come so far. Like, you've done so many awesome things and you're just right at that sweet spot where there's going to be other things coming your way. Why would you stop now? And I'm reminded that if I don't continue to climb up that hill, I'll never know what's on the other side of the hill, right? So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to have my pity party. I'm going to dry my face after crying and sobbing and say, oh, this is impossible. I'm not going to be able to do it, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, put my big girl panties on and make it happen. And so that's what I was committed to coming out of 2017, and I'm definitely committed to coming into 2018. And I'm going to talk more about that probably in another video, because I am doing Ali Edwards' One Little Word, and I wanted to mention that here in the Scrappy chat, but then it's going to take a little bit longer because I want to show you the product and all that. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about my goals and things that I want to do moving forward based upon the one word that I've selected this year to kind of be my theme. I did experience also another cloud, a creative slump toward the end of the year. And I think it also had to do with the fact that my time was so limited. I was working a lot. I would come home. I have a small child that commands a lot of my attention. And I would just be exhausted, and I didn't want to come into my studio and work. But I found that once I sat down in this space and I start moving around things and fiddling with things, even if I wasn't working on something, it was hard for me to sort of get a creative spark going. And what I learned from that is that I have to make creating something either, well, for me, because I do it professionally and also because I love it personally, to do something creative every single day. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how long it takes me. But even if it's just 5 minutes, doing something to feed that part of my creativity, because when I do that, then that's where the ideas and stuff are generated for me. And I want to be able to produce good content here on the channel and to be able to share with the community in a variety of different ways. And also personally working on some personal projects, and that creative spark is generated if I continue to do something to support that. So the creative slump was very hard. However, I think I've overcome that just a little bit going into 2018. I have so many things that I want to do. I had to show myself some grace. I had to take some time out to do something other than scrapbooking, because I do have other creative hobbies that I enjoy. And I had to be okay with that. I had to sit in that moment, in that feeling for a little bit in order to come out of it. So that was a cloud. That was kind of a hard cloud. And then the last cloud that I had in 2017 was figuring out what my next steps were going to be for my business, for myself personally. And I found that a lot of times in 2017, I was stagnant. I just allowed myself to be paralyzed with overwhelm, with being scared of not knowing. And I think sometimes we just have to not know, right? You have to not know for a little bit until the clouds clear, until you figure out what it is that you want to do and what you need to do to move forward. And so I spent a better part of November and December trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do. I had to recommit myself to my business. I had to recommit myself to me. There are so many things personally that that I felt that I needed to do better going into the new year. So those were the rainbows and the clouds of 2017. Let's talk about 2018 and what's coming down the pike for Victoria Marie Designs, for the channel, for all kinds of stuff. So classes, there will be 2 new classes this year. I'm going to continue to build upon what's already available. So there's 7 classes currently on the Victoria Marie online classes site. The link is posted down below. There's 2 classes that have been highly requested, and I'm hoping to be able to get those out in 2018. The first one is going to be a master class. It's going to be more of a higher priced class than my other classes because it is a master's class. It's going to involve a lot of coaching on my part for the people who are part of the class. There are a lot of you who are interested in getting into this YouTube community as a content creator. So I mentioned making or wanting to make that class in 2017. It did not happen. I'm making that class in 2018. So it's going to be a 6-week masterclass on how you can start your YouTube channel. So by the end of the class, you're going to have your YouTube channel up and running, your first video, the whole 9. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you stay tuned for that. The best way to find out what's going on new with the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, with all the events that I have, with everything that I do, is to subscribe to my blog, because that's how I'm going to better communicate all these things that are coming down. I'm also starting a newsletter, so look for that information to come too. The link to my blog is posted down below. So that class should be coming out probably summertime-ish. So the second class that's been requested is how to use your Scrappy stash. I know there's a lot of you out there that are so interested in figuring out how you can maximize what you already have. So this class is going to be action-oriented, lots of activities so that you produce something at the end. And it's going to be, I believe, a series of classes. So those classes are coming down the pike in 2018. I might switch them. I might do the stash one first and then the master class later, but I'm not quite sure yet. Either way, the information is going to be posted on Victoria Marie blog. So make sure that you subscribe. If you didn't know that I have a blog, hello, where have you been? The link is down below. Make sure you subscribe to that so you can get all the latest and greatest information of what's going on with Victoria Marie Design. Another project I'm working on this year, this is something that I've been wanting to do for like the past 3 years, is I'm writing my first ever ebook. Yeah, I'm writing a book, and it's all about sketches. I'm doing a sketchbook. So what it will look like is there will be about 100 sketches in this book. It's going to be volume 1 because I do plan on doing this again. And what I'm taking is some of my favorite layouts that I've made over the years and creating some new ones. And so you'll see a picture of the layout and then you'll have the sketch. I know there's a lot of you who love using sketches. I love using sketches. And so ideally what this ebook is going to be is something that you can have on your smart device. You can pull up on your computer. You can also take it to your local printer and have it printed. And so that you have a sketchbook that you can take to crops, retreats, you can use at home. It's kind of me dipping my toe in the water of writing a book. So look for that to come. I hope to have that available come fall. I've been working on it just a teeny bit coming out of the end of last year, but very excited for that. So you guys check that out. All right, so I've gotten a lot of questions about the Victoria Marie Scrapbook Retreat. I did post a vlog about the retreat. Of course, it's here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. And we had a lot of fun in 2017. I've hosted this retreat twice already. So we had the second annual one in October. It is hosted at the Covered Bridge Inn in Weatherford, Texas. And I had about 20 people attend. We had a lot of fun. My retreats are really low key. This was the first year that we did games. I think in the future, I might offer some classes there depending on how large the group is. I kind of struggle with retreats because while I would love to have a lot of people come, I do like the intimacy of a smaller group, which means I'd have to have more. There is a lot of interest in the retreat. So what I've done in 2018 is I've added one more. It'll be at the same venue, but it'll be in the summertime. The registration for that's going to go up next week. So I'm going to announce it here on the YouTube channel and all my social media outlets, as well as on the blog. I only have 17 spaces for the summer retreat. It's going to be at the Covered Bridge Inn in Weatherford, Texas. And then the one in October is already sold out, but I have a wait list going. So if they sell out, there'll be a wait list and you can sign up to be on the wait list, and it's first come, first serve. So I will post all of that information on the Victoria Marie blog. Again, make sure you subscribe so you'll get a notification when all of that is posted. And then going into the future, 2019, 2020, Aubrey and I, my spouse and I, are working on an out-of-state venue opportunity, hopefully. A lot of the venues that I've been checking out don't accommodate such a large group, so I'm looking for something that'll accommodate 20 or 30, and if they do accommodate 20 or 30, then sometimes there's not other perks that I like when I go to a retreat. Like you know, if the food's already going to be catered or prepared by the owners. Is there enough space? Is the crop room big enough? You know, those types of things. I really want to be a retreat experience, right? You have a lot of space to create, a lot of space to move around, lots of things to do in the area, that type of thing. So we're playing around with maybe a hotel option, which I really don't like. It means more people can come, but I don't know. And so we're busy looking at other places. So 2019, we're going to have 3 retreats, one of which will be a crop and cruise event. And so I'm working with a company right now to coordinate all of that, and I will announce that for 2019. And then there'll be the spring retreat and then the fall retreat. We might add another one in there depending on the venue. My goal is to have a retreat on the east and one on the west and one here in the South Midwest area every year, including the cruise. So one step at a time. We're going to see how this goes. I got to make sure that it is that it makes sense from a cost standpoint, not only for you but also for me, and make sure that's a venue that everyone will enjoy. So at least for 2018, 2 retreats. The summer one's going to be June 29th through July 1st, something like that. And then the fall one is October, and that one's already sold out. So more information about Victoria Marie scrapbook retreats are always posted on my blog, so make sure you subscribe to that. All right, so coming into 2018, I kind of held off on this. I was going to do it in 2017, but it didn't happen, is you will see the launch of my Patreon site. And you might be asking, what is Patreon? Well, Patreon is a great way for you to give monthly contributions to the creative individuals that you enjoy. And so I do want to insert a small caveat here that it's a paid subscription type situation where you pay a small amount in order to get exclusive content that's only available to Patreon subscribers. That does not mean, however, that I'm going to stop posting here to YouTube. YouTube is the core of what I do in my business. I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for YouTube. And so you will always, always, always have free and high quality content here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. But I'm also going to offer this other opportunity for you to be able to support me as a content creator. And so when I get all of that set up, I'm going to do a separate video about that. I'm going to teach you all about Patreon, how you can become a member. There's going to be different levels that you can contribute at. And my goal is hopefully to be able to earn enough support so that I can leave my full-time job now and continue to do Victoria Marie designs on a full-time basis. It also is funds that will help me with covering operating costs and equipment and all the things that go into being an online content creator. Is a lot of cost sometimes, particularly as you're growing. And this particular channel is growing. We're almost at 69, or we're at over 60. No, we're at 6,800 subscribers here on the YouTube channel, and it's continuing to grow, which means when I grow, that means my processes have to change a little bit and my equipment has to get better and that type of thing. So I need funds to be able to handle all of that in addition to other things that I do to earn money through my business. So I'm going to discuss that a little bit in a separate video. Once it's all set up, you'll get exclusive content, exclusive tutorials, discounts on Victoria Marie classes, all kinds of fun printable tools to help you become a better and stronger scrapbooker, and just a really fun community. I'll also do exclusive live streams only for my Patreon subscribers. I'll do live streams here on this YouTube channel, but for my Patreons, they'll get it a lot more frequently than here on the regular YouTube channel. So there's going to be lots of perks, lots of incentives for supporting me on Patreon. So look for more information about that to come. Finally, the last thing, I think it's the last thing. Yes, the last thing is Victoria Marie merchandise will be launching this winter. We are almost done. We got into a little snag last year because we found a company and I was putting up my designs and I tested it out by offering it to the folks who attended the Victoria Marie scrapbook retreat. And some of the products that I got, I was like, I don't know if I like this. So we did a little bit more research, a little bit more tweaking, and so now it's going to come. So t-shirts, phone covers, totes, mugs with funny things and designs that I create. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really, really fun. So Victoria Marie merch you will be seeing really, really soon. And again, I will announce that here on the YouTube channel and on the blog. I've been wanting to offer Victoria Marie merch for so long now, and I'm glad that we've got the kinks worked out because it just it just happens. Life just happens. So you'll be able to sport Victoria Marie merch to your scrapbook retreats and your crops and just hang out at home and out in public, and people are gonna go, what's that? That's a cool shirt. And I'm like, oh, that's that Victoria Marie merch. And then you give them my website so they can buy. One last thing before I do Scrappy Wisdoms is I do want to say again and underscore that while it's been a little bit quiet here on the YouTube channel, you will see more content. And in fact, my goal is to post 2 to 3 times a week. I really, really feel strongly about that and engaging in this community. We are going to do live stream. I tested it one time as a private offer for a sale that I was running last year, and we figured it out, and so it worked, and now I'm over that hump, and now I'm ready to do it. And so we'll probably do like a bi-monthly YouTube live stream here. It'll be a course of several hours, and we'll scrapbook and we'll have fun, and then there's going to be all kinds of chat going on. It'll be great. So look for that to come. More content here on the YouTube channel. I want to be more interactive. I want to try some new things as I'm learning and growing as a YouTube content creator. And I want you guys to have fun whenever you come here and you look at the videos. I hope you get something out of it, and I hope you're learning something and being inspired, and hopefully I'll be able to get on a more predictable schedule. That is the goal. That is what I'm working on in 2018. So more content to come. It's gonna be good content, great content that you can use. All right, so your Scrappy Wisdom for January. Oh, the start of the new year, 2018, brings so much promise. And if you're like me, then you're probably saying, hey, I got this long list of scrappy things that I want to do this year, whether it's finish up projects or start a new project or finish a class or spend less or maybe spend more, I don't know, whatever that is. And sometimes we get overwhelmed by the enormity of all the things that we want to do, because if you're like me, you want to do all the things. There's just so many fun things to do in this hobby. But I think there are 5 creative actions that you can take to jumpstart your scrapbooking year in 2018. So I'm going to share those with you, and I talk about them more extensively on the Victoria Marie blog, so make sure you check that out. Number 1, let go of the things that you didn't do in 2017. 2017's gone, new year, doesn't matter. You didn't finish Project Life, whatever. Didn't finish December Daily, whatever. You didn't finish that baby book that you've been trying to work on for 7 years, whatever. It's okay. The world's not going to end. Those projects are still there. Focus on moving forward. Finish those projects if you want to, but be realistic. Things happen, your interests change, life happens, whatever, but don't beat yourself up over what you didn't finish last year or the subsequent years before that. Those projects are going to be there. You can always come back to them. So don't beat yourself up over that. Let it go. Number 2, make time in 2018 to create. If creating is important to you, then it should be as important as other things that are important in your life, right? Make some time. It doesn't have to be 10 hours that you have devoted, to scrapbooking. Maybe it's 5 minutes. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Maybe it's not scrapbooking. Maybe it's sitting down and doing a spread in your planner. Maybe it's doing something in Traveler's Notebook. Maybe it's playing around with some watercolors. Do something this year every day or every other day or maybe one day a week that feeds your creative soul. And the best way to do that is to figure out in your schedule what works best. For some of you, you may have time every day to do something creative. For some of you, maybe Sunday is your day that you sit down and you do something creative. But whatever it is, make sure you do something to fill your creative soul. Number 3, make sure that you have set up your scrapbook space that best works for you. Now, for some of you, it may be your kitchen table. For some of you, you may have half a room like I have right now. Or I have a little tiny bit over half a room. Maybe you have an entire studio. Maybe it's your bedroom that you scrapbook. Whatever it is, set up your space for success. Have all your tools available to you. Make sure that you're fully stocked with the stuff that you use most. Set yourself up so that when you sit down to create, you have the things that you need and you're not wasting time trying to find stuff. And then you're like, oh, my space is messy and I can't find this item. Oh, forget it. I'm not going to scrapbook. I'm not going to create today. Make sure that your space is set up for success so that you're motivated and you're inspired to create something beautiful. Again, filling up your creative soul. Number 4, learn something new this year. Learn something new, whether it's a new scrapbooking technique or a new machine. How many of you have like a silhouette sitting around in your house and you haven't used it yet? Maybe this is the year that you learn how to use that machine. I don't know, maybe take a Victoria Marie online class. Cheap plug. Whatever it is, learn something new this year in 2018. And I bet you anything that as you're learning that new technique, it'll definitely inspire you in other ways creatively, particularly in scrapbooking. Number 5, make sure you set realistic goals for 2018. If you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to organize all 50,000 digital photos that I have this year. Well, maybe not 50,000, but maybe could you do 10 this year? Or maybe instead of worrying about reorganizing all the tens of thousand layouts that you have, maybe you focus on just 50 for right now, or maybe 100. Make your goals doable, achievable, and reasonable. Again, Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't have to do all of the things. So don't set yourself up for failure, making this big old long exhaustive list of all the things that you want to do in 2018. Slow down, my friend. Pace yourself and pick a few things that you want to focus on this year and get it done. Not only do you take the pressure off yourself, but you also get the added benefit of completing something that you've been wanting to do for a long time. Set realistic goals, but more than anything, enjoy the process of doing something fun and creative. All right, so that is it for the January 2018 Scrappy Chat. I'll do another one at the end of February to kind of wrap up. No. I'll do one at the end of January to going into February to kind of wrap up what's been happening in January. There's so many things I want to share with you, but I can't share with you right now, so I look forward to that. I look forward to, of course, launching all the wonderful projects that I have going on. And I look forward to connecting with you in this community. So if you haven't already, make sure that you head on over to the Victoria Marie Facebook group. The link is posted down below. Please, 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 I'm begging you, subscribe to my blog because that is the best way to get information about what's going on with Victoria Marie Designs. And thank you so much for your continued support. Hey, wait, before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. Make sure you click that bell indicator so you will be notified every time that I post a video here on the channel. Also, you can find me at all my social media platforms. Links are posted down below, as well as a link to the Victoria Marie online classes. And if you're looking for some more Victoria Marie videos, I got 2 right over here that you can watch right now. Thank you guys for joining me. Now you go and be creative.